In a lush green meadow where the flowers bloomed in vibrant colors and the trees swayed gently under the warm sun, lived a small, diligent ant named Arlo. Arlo was part of a vast colony that valued hard work and unity above all else. Each day, Arlo and his fellow ants would march out of their anthill, carrying seeds, leaves, and food back to their home, storing them for the upcoming winter. The colony was always busy and everyone had a task, whether it was collecting food, digging tunnels, or maintaining the anthill. For the ants, every moment was precious. One day, as Arlo marched with his fellow ants, carrying a seed many times his size, he heard a cheerful melody floating through the air. The tune was bright and light, and it seemed to dance with the wind. Arlo, curious, paused and looked around. There, resting lazily on a soft patch of grass, was the source of the music, a carefree grasshopper named Finn. Finn was a musician at heart. With his green body and long, slender legs, he hopped from flower to flower, strumming his tiny violin made from a leaf and string. He wore a tiny hat that he had fashioned out of a flower petal and always had a smile on his face. To Finn, life was a song waiting to be sung, and the meadow was his stage. "Hey there, Arlo," Finn called out as he saw the ant pause. "Why don't you take a break and join me? The sun is shining, and the breeze is perfect for music. Let's enjoy this beautiful day." Arlo, though tempted by the cheerful tune, shook his head. "I can't, Finn. Winter is coming, and we need to gather as much food as we can before the cold arrives. If we don't, there won't be enough to survive." Finn laughed, a carefree sound that matched his nature. "Winter is so far away, my friend. There's plenty of time to gather food. Look around. The meadow is full of life. Why worry about what hasn't happened yet when you can enjoy the present?" Arlo sighed. He had heard this before from Finn. Every day, as the ants worked tirelessly, Finn played his music, hopped from flower to flower, and rested in the shade of the trees. He never seemed to worry about the future. "Suit yourself," Arlo replied. "But remember, when winter comes, you'll wish you had prepared." Finn simply shrugged and continued to play his violin, filling the air with joyful notes as Arlo and his fellow ants continued their work. The changing seasons' days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. The meadow, once vibrant with flowers and buzzing with life, began to show signs of the changing season. The leaves turned golden and red, and the flowers wilted, their petals falling to the ground. The air grew crisper, and the sun hung lower in the sky. The ants, seeing the signs of autumn, intensified their efforts, collecting every last bit of food they could find. Arlo, now carrying heavier loads with urgency, noticed Finn still lounging in the meadow. The grasshopper had built a small shelter from twigs and leaves, but it was flimsy, barely enough to protect him from the elements. He still played his violin, though the notes now seemed slower, matching the cooling air. "Finn," Arlo said, pausing to catch his breath, "it's getting colder. Winter is almost here. You need to start gathering food and build a proper shelter. Your music won't keep you warm when the snow falls." Finn looked up and smiled, though this time there was a hint of uncertainty in his eyes. "Oh, Arlo, you worry too much. I'll be fine. Besides, who needs to store food when there's still plenty around?" Arlo glanced around. The meadow, once lush and full of life, was now sparse. The flowers had disappeared, and most of the plants had shed their leaves. Even the insects and birds that once populated the area were preparing for the cold. "It may not look like it now," Arlo warned, "but soon there will be nothing left." Finn waved his friend off, though he couldn't shake the chill creeping into his wings.